We make goals like exercising, losing body fat, learning a new language, being a good friend, being a good husband and wife, whatever, etc. We all have goals, but we fail a lot at them. Like, we fail a lot of them. And there's one main reason. There's one main reason. And it relates to forgetting things easily. For example, do I remember what I ate for breakfast today? Okay, yeah, I do because I eat the same thing, like, every single day. But, like, do I remember that one person's name that I met, like, last week? No, I don't. I really don't. And so, we need constant reminders, right? We forget things very easily. And it's a good thing, right? Because you wouldn't want your brain to constantly hold thoughts from, like, a week ago. Like, it would be too many thoughts, and you would die from it, essentially. You would die from overload. But that also means that we forget important things. And so we need constant reminders of those important things. It's an obvious statement, right? We need constant reminders, but, like, what do I mean in the terms of, like, goals? We need reminders about the ideas and emotions that you want to hold in your mind relating to that goal. For the most part, you won't really forget your goals. I mean, you can forget it, like, temporarily, but you will still remember it, right? But you will forget certain ideas if you do not practice them, and if they are in your mind. In addition, emotions are way more transient, right? You will forget how you emotionally felt way easier than, like, ideas. Because, you can go from happy to being pissed off in, like, a couple seconds. It's fairly easy, right? It's fairly easy. Just tell someone to fuck off, or just curse a bunch at someone, and then, see what happens. But the thing is, emotions make us act. We act because of our emotions. I mean, you can just think about, like, when someone is acting rashly. Why is that the case? Because they're emotional. Like, do you actually act when you hear someone say something sound, like, logically sound? Like, for example, you should exercise because of this, you're more healthy, you'll live longer, these health benefits, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you don't. Because there's no emotion behind it. This is pure logic. Same thing with, like, marketing. You buy because of, oh, this is less expensive, this has more features, this blah, blah, blah. You don't do that, really. You buy from emotion. There's this quote from someone, it's like, we buy from emotion and justify it with logic, which is certainly true. We act in general from emotions. And then we try to justify it with logic. And therefore, if your goal doesn't have any underlying emotions behind it, there's no skin in the game. Right? There's no emotions to back it up, and, well, certainly you're not going to succeed as much as someone who has those emotions, who has that drive to get that goal. So recently I was thinking about masculinity. Specifically, if I am being as masculine as I want to be, or I believe I should be. And, well, TLDR is, I wasn't. I mean, I thought about this because, like, in the past, at that moment, I thought strongly about it, and it was in my mind, and I focused on it. But recently, I've stopped thinking about it. And my life hasn't gone the way that I really wanted to. Or at least, there are some things that I would like to be more masculine or to be better in a way, but they haven't been. It's like I forgot how to act in some ways. Like, I forgot what I should do in, like, certain scenarios. I sort of, like, defaulted to, like, my old ways, which were not exactly masculine. So I need to be reminded of the emotions which led me to act on that goal. Those emotions which would motivate me, in a sense. And so when you want to achieve a goal, the biggest thing you want to do is remind yourself of the emotions that spurred you there. Like, for me, I got into fitness, or more specifically, like, lifting and strength training, because I want to achieve the planche. The planche is a advanced calisthenics skill that consists of holding your entire body up on the ground with straight arms on the ground. And you can search it up, PLANCHE. When I first saw it, I was just in awe. Like, I looked at it, I saw it, I was like, wow, like, holy shit. Like, I want to do that. Like, I want to fucking do that, bro. Like, I want to do that. Like, 15, 16 years old, like, seeing this, like, yeah, I want to do that. Yeah. Like, I was so invigorated. Like, It was just straight pure awe. I was in awe of this. I wanted it so much, and I was like constantly thinking about it. Not like every like 5 minutes and so, but you know, at least like 4 times a week. Like throughout the week, it was always on my mind. Like planche. Monday, thinking about planche. Okay. Wednesday, thinking about planche. Okay. Friday, thinking about planche. Okay. Saturday, thinking about planche. Just throughout the week, there were just constant reminders, essentially. And this kept me on point as the years trickled by. I've diverted my attention away to bodybuilding, but I still remember the fundamental thing that I want to do. The fundamental thing that I want to get, which is the planche. I went to bodybuilding so that I have a better physique and to also help myself with the planche. So for your goals, whether they're super long, like decades long, or pretty short, you just gotta keep thinking about it. Specifically the emotions that are tied to that goal. For me, the awe of the planche, that feeling when I saw that, remembering that emotion for your goal, that will make you succeed. So why does this work? Because when you think about emotion, like what is it specifically when you're highly motivated? Like what about it is the same with every single goal that you are motivated to achieve? You're constantly thinking about it, right? Like when you're highly motivated, if I'm highly motivated to lose weight, I'm constantly thinking about losing weight. It's always on my mind. You do all like the reminding yourself, right? So you don't need anything like external. That is motivation, right? Just constantly having it in your mind, constantly thinking about something, more specifically wanting something. And with that motivation, of course, there's the action, right? And of course, the action is the most important thing, but reminders can spur the action, specifically your emotions for that action, for that goal. Of course, there are goals without emotion, and if you can harness your emotions this way, if you can keep reminding yourself of the emotions you felt for that goal, you can and will achieve it, because you're basically just hyping yourself up with motivation, essentially. Remember the emotions, and those emotions make you act. You are motivating yourself. So what about goals without emotions to back them up? I mean, you can have these, but they will fail in the long run. If you don't have any emotions to back them, like it's easier to be overcome by a different emotion that leads you down a different path or in a completely opposite path. You won't have emotion to essentially guard the goal against like any conflicting emotion. Right? Like if I want to lose weight, but I really like sweets, my desire for losing weight, if I don't have like any emotions behind it, it will be defeated by this desire to want to eat sweets. Right? You need something that pushes you, that's behind that goal. And the most powerful is, of course, emotions. For example, I had set a goal to like not watch porn again. I failed it after being really close to the 1 year mark. To be honest, I didn't, and I still don't have a strong emotional attachment to that goal. It's basically just logical thinking. Like I knew logically that I shouldn't do this, and I didn't connect to it emotionally. And because of that, I didn't nearly have as many reminders to not do this. I didn't have an emotion to protect myself from antagonizing emotions, from the desires to use it, right? Like my logic and my reasons are not strong enough from emotions. Our emotions dictate our actions, for the most part. For like 90% of the things, maybe 99% of the things that we do, emotions back us. Emotions are our reasons. If you don't have an emotion to back up your goal, the chances of you failing are astronomically higher than the goals that you have an emotion to back yourself up. That's also why I believe like the ones who are like extremely successful in life, they were messed up in some way, bro. They were messed up in some way that gave them the drive, the emotions to climb to the very echelon, to the very zenith, the very peak of the human race. There was something there. Right? Otherwise, they would not be nearly as driven for that goal. This puts us in a kind of dilemma, right? Like, if we want to achieve a goal, like, if we don't have any emotional like reminders, how the fuck do we do that then? You can't just like get some emotional trauma from this very easily. To be honest, I don't really know how you can be nearly as driven for a goal if you don't have any emotional backing. I don't think you can have that drive without the emotions. I mean, I could just say like, oh, just like get some emotional trauma. But like, it's not how the world works. I mean, of course the world will hurt you a lot. But you can't be very like specific with like, hey, can you hurt me on this one aspect of myself? It's not like you can do that. So, I don't really know what you can do. I mean, you can try to barricade yourself with logic, but eventually that's going to fall. Eventually that's going to fall apart. Because emotions will trump logic every single time.